Race 10 of 15 takes place here at the Nashville Superspeedway in Lebanon, Tennessee. Nashville Speedway's concrete track surface is unique in the IRL series and provides significantly less grip than regular asphalt. The track at 55 feet wide is also rather narrow and bears a rough surface. Combined with the fact that a driver will pull between 4.5 and 5 Gs in the corners, these factors make Nashville a very demanding track to drive. You're going to have to time your passing very carefully here at Nashville. The lack of grip means that the high groove in the mid-corners is a very precarious place to be, and is usually a free ticket to take a closer look at the wall. Nashville's reputation as a tough track to drive is well earned. Take care here and remember that finishing the race and earning championship points are much more important than going all out for victory and making a mistake.
Right then, hello and welcome back to the IndyCar series. We're going to continue on with the championship. It's been a little while since we played this actually. May 5th, 2019 was the last time I actually had this game running. So yeah, it's been a little while. A few little glitches and bugs as well. When you're trying to import an old save file, it shows some drivers have wins under their belt. Sarah Fisher for one, which she hasn't actually won any of the races. So it's a little bit weird, a few little glitches. And it did take me a while to get this game running because my antivirus decided to class the EXE as a Trojan virus. So, awesome stuff. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to get on with qualifying and see how well we get on. I have looked online for a couple of setups as well because I've never done well here at Nashville. So I'm going to put in a setup and see how well it goes. And I will see you all for the starting grid. Well, here we go then. We managed to get pole position with Elio Castroneves alongside Sam Hornish Jr. and Billy Boat on row 2. Row 3 is Alex Barron and Richie Hearn. Row 4 consists of Scott Sharp and Eddie Cheever Jr. Row 5 is Robbie Buell and Sarah Fisher. Row 6 is Felipe Giafone and Gilles de Ferran. Row 7 is Buddy Lazier and Ayrton Dare. Row 8 is Eliseo Salazar and Tony Renner. Row 9 is George Mack and Jeff Ward. On the 10th row is Laurent Radon and Rick Treadway. Row 11 is Dan Weldon and Jacques Lazier. And on the final row, row 12, is Buddy Rice and Al Unser Jr. So there we go. That is the starting grid. I'm going to put the weight jacker all the way up and the fuel mixture as well. We should gain control of the car in 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely job. Just got to make our way to the line. And I'll probably jump the start, or try to get a good run. Pace car is off, and I'll go now. No, didn't get a jump start, sadly.
The pits are now open. Green flag is out. Go, go, go. You've entered your pit window.
Yep, so just got to take it steady for a couple of laps just to get the tyres warmed up. Going to be pitting round about lap 22-ish. But yeah, very surprising I managed to get pole position. I didn't think I would actually, but we were pulling out a little bit of a lead. Don't worry, they will catch up as we scrape the wall. Once they start drafting each other and getting in line, they will catch me very quickly. This corner is the problem because sometimes you can wash up a little bit wide and clout the wall. And again there, just a little brush of the wall. It's not doing any damage. So we're absolutely fine. Just making sure that my fuel mixture is up to 7. Playing with the throttle a little bit. Yeah, see, they're still
That was your best lap so far.
fairly close as we brush the wall again. Shouldn't really do that, otherwise it will damage the suspension. Nice wide entry. We can use the throttle to get us out. That was a good lap indeed. And again, brushing the wall, it's fine. It's the thing with these cars, it's hard to determine how close the wall is. And I wish that there were wing mirrors as well, so I could actually see what was going on behind me.
That was your best lap so far.
Another best lap. Fantastic. The game runs fairly smoothly, but there were issues where before the game would run, you know, 60 FPS and 720, but for some reason it just stopped working. It was capped at 30 FPS, but it runs absolutely fine in 1080, but it's still capped at 30 FPS in 720. It's really strange, but slowly putting out a nice lead. I think we did get the jump on him, which is good. No cautions yet either. 7 laps in, starting lap 8.
You're 1.7 seconds ahead of Hornish.
1.7. So we're pulling out a lead bit by bit. Probably 0.2 a lap. But so far, so good. Yeah, you can see there's a few little frame blips here and there. I mean, it is a fairly old game, so I mean, you can't... You know, older games tend to struggle a little bit running on certain systems anyway, but the main thing is that it runs. So, mustn't complain about that. Because, you know, getting these older games to run on newer systems can be a bit of a hassle.
You're 2.2 seconds ahead of Castroneves.
Oh, wonderful. We're pulling out a nice lead now. 2.2 seconds. So hopefully we can keep this going. Might be able to get another victory under our belt, which would be nice. Sam Hornish Jr. and Castroneves battling it out, so they're slowing each other down.
You're 2.5 seconds ahead of Castroneves.
Yeah, lovely. 2.5. It's increasing in size. Now, before, when I used to play this on the Xbox way back in the day, I could never ever get a good lap time. I was always lapped and never won a race here. I mean, but thankfully the setup files that I found, or the setups that I found, seem to be working wonders.
Not a bad lap. Try pushing it a little harder.
Shut up, I'm pushing as hard as I can.
You're 2.7 seconds ahead of Castroneves.
Yeah, it's just a shame that the 2005 version was never ported to PC, even though on the wiki page it does say that it was released in 2004 or 2005. So, yeah, it's a bit strange. Yeah, the reason that game is so good is it's actually got wing mirrors. So you can actually see what's going on. And of course the graphics were updated and it just looks a better all-around game. Oh, well, what lap are we on now? Coming up to lap 15. So we got about another 7 laps before we dive into the pits. Gonna keep the fuel mixture up to 7 as well.
That was your best lap so far.
And just slightly releasing the throttle just so that the car doesn't wash up the track. So far so good. The crowd are enjoying it as well, even though it doesn't look like any spectators are in the stands. Which, you know, in the last year and a half, that's become commonplace. Or the last year, anyway. No spectators in the stands. That is, you know, just a common sight during racing events these days. What lap are we on now? 17. Not long to go before we dive in. Yeah, they're still back there. Looks like about 2.5 or 3 seconds. Lap 18. Oh, it's so good to get this game back up and running again. It's been way too long. But I did say that I'm trying to get some of the older series completed before we start newer stuff. So, yeah. And still no cautions yet either, which is fantastic.
You're 3.9 seconds ahead of Hornick.
Oh, look at that. 3.9 seconds, almost 4 seconds. We are just completely blitzing the field, which is wonderful. Might even come up to some back markers before we go into the pits, which is going to be in about 2 laps.
You're 4.2 seconds ahead of Hornick.
4.2, an increase of 0.3. Okay, so I think the next lap we'll go in, get our pit stop done, and then we'll be absolutely fine for the rest of the race then.
You're 4.4 seconds ahead of Castroneves.
Another 0.2 gained. Okay, so we're going to dive in now, get our pit stop done. Oh, it's a little bit bumpy, so I'm going to take it a little bit cautiously. There they go.
Watch your speed in the pits. You're 1.5 seconds ahead of Oak.
And there we go. So I'll just quickly change the fuel down to around about 35. And then we should be good to go for the rest of the race. Wonderful. Thanks, guys. Right. Now we just got to wait for the control to be given back to us. Which shouldn't be too long away. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to accelerate very, very gently because of the cold tyres. I think the leaders have gone into the pits now as well. Yep, they have. Almost clouted into me as they were coming down the straight. That slam on their brakes. We have a slow car. So I don't know why he's going so slow. Oh, he's going into the pits. That's fine. So it's going to take a little while for our tyres to warm up.
1 lap off the lead.
And we should start gaining our positions back as well in a moment.
You're 12 seconds behind the race leader.
Yeah, that's fine. I should take the lead again once we get around the corner. They should only just be coming out of the pits by then. Tyres slowly coming up to temperature.
That's the halfway point.
And there we go. Lead has been retaken. Halfway through the race.
Now in first place.
And we should be able to keep the lead until the very end, unless we make a mistake and go up into the wall, which hopefully won't happen. But because of the pit stops as well, we should be cycling around to some back markers as well. There's one of them coming out of the pits. So that's all been cycled through, everything should be settled down, and again, no cautions yet. Which is pretty strange actually, especially on this kind of circuit. Would have thought this would have been a haven for incidents and collisions,
You're
but...
2.1 seconds ahead of Castroneves.
Right, 2.1 second advantage. Let's see if we can increase that again like we did before.
You're 2.3 seconds ahead of Castroneves.
Ah, yeah, there we go. Already gaining time. He was caught on that back marker anyway. So that was a rather successful pit stop then, and everything else. See if we can turn it into a race victory, that'll be nice. My car feels a little bit heavier though because of the fuel, so it is trying to wash up the track just a smidge. As long as we stay in our line, keep it together, we should be absolutely fine. There's some back markers in front as well. Yeah, it looks like we're pulling out our 4-second lead again, or close to 4 seconds. Currently 2.8 seconds according to the little ticker at the top there. Which is still an improvement on the 2.5 we did have.
You're 2.9 seconds ahead of Castro Neves.
Thank you.
Not a bad lap. Try pushing it a little harder.
Shut up. You're as bad as Scotty, for God's sake.
You're 3.3 seconds ahead of Castro Neves.
That's better. What were we before they went into the pits, or we went into the pits? It was 4.4 seconds or something. But you can see that we're actually gaining on the back markers now, so we are increasing.
Your best lap so far. Your front right suspension and your electronics has sustained damage.
Oops.
We can fix that damage, but we need you in the pit now.
No, it's fine. See, that's what happens when you
3.6 seconds ahead of
gently
Castro
clout
Neves.
the wall. It shouldn't do any damage to our race, so I think we should be alright. We can still carry the speed through. So I think we should be alright. That was just a little tiny clout with the wall. And the car is misfiring a little bit.
You're
Again.
3.8 seconds
Yeah,
ahead
we're
of
still
Castro
increasing
Neves.
our lead, so that's fine. A little bit of damage is not going to be worrisome.
You're 4.1 seconds ahead of Castro Neves.
Yeah, increasing
That was
nicely,
your
so.
best lap so far.
And even with damage, that was our best lap, so. So it will not become a factor. This is absolutely fine. This is very manageable. It's not doing anything to the handling. So I just need to stay calm and get this race done.
You're 4.4 seconds ahead of Castro Neves.
There we go, back up to 4.4 seconds. That's where we were roundabout before we went into the pits. What's our fuel looking like? 18 laps worth of fuel, and we have 12 laps to go. So this looks like it's going to be the first time ever I'm going to be able to win at Nashville. Which was my Achilles heel with this game. All the other tracks were relatively fine. This one, though, was always a pain in my backside. It's going to be a nice short race as well, because we've had no cautions to slow everything down. Oh, misfiring
Car in
again.
front is a back marker.
I know he's a back marker. I'm the bloody leader, you idiot. Bloody Socrates there in his booth. I thought I was smoke there in front though. It's just a track reflecting the light. Okay, coming up to the end of the race now, 10 to go.
You're 4.9 seconds ahead of Castro Neves.
Almost 5-second advantage, which is wonderful. But then the tyres are slowly starting to go off again. So we just need to take it steady for a couple of laps as well. Again with the misfire. Oh, that misfire is getting a lot worse. I think we should be okay, though. My only concern now is just the tires, really, because they are on fire and they're gonna wear fairly quickly. So if I can just keep my tires nice and grippy for the last 6 laps.
You're 5.8 seconds ahead of Castro Neves.
Wow, 5.8 seconds. Okay, we're going to blitz this race completely. Even with electrical damage and a little bit of suspension damage from hitting the wall, we're still pulling out a very, very nice lead. 5 laps to go. Four to go. Oh, that misfire is getting a lot worse now, though. The worst thing about it, if I get in the draft, is going to increase the possibility of us going up too high and clouting the wall from being too fast in the corner. So I'm just going to hang back. Not let that happen. 5.7 seconds ahead of Castro Neves. So we have this in the bag. 2 laps to go. White flag, final lap.
The white flag is out. This is the last lap.
Oh, come on. Yeah, look at the tyres, they're definitely worn. But we can take it steady for the final corner. And take the checkered flag for another victory.
That was a good win, buddy. Congratulations.
Congratulations indeed. From Castro Neves and Hornish Jr., everyone finished. There were no retirements, there were no cautions. That was a very, very, very clean race. So I'm well happy with that. Salazar finished last, a lap down. So it's Castro Neves, Hornish Jr., Boat, Baron, Hearn, De Ferran, Radon, Lazier, and Sharp, the top 10. Weldon finished 17th. Good for him. But that is another 52 points in the bag as well. So, yeah, dead happy with that. Awesome. Yay, and look at our driver who looks eerily similar to Jacksepticeye. And there you go. Lovely job. Let's see what that does to the points. And we are now, oh, so close. 320 points to Helio Castro Neves, 354. So we are very, very close. Yeah, but if you look, what I was talking about, the glitch with the save file, it says Sarah Fisher there. And it says she's got a win next to her name, which she hasn't. So, yeah. Another thing as well, my race number, it says 40. My car number is 42. So another little bug. But, yeah, let's see where we are next time then for the next round in the IndyCar series.
The 11th race of the season brings us here to Michigan International Speedway, a circuit first used by the Indy Racing League in 2002. 18 degrees of banking combined with 73-foot wide sweeping turns provides drivers with up to 4 grooves running around the 2-mile speedway. Small wing, low downforce wing configurations are used here, as speed is of the essence, and too much downforce is a hindrance on this fast track.
So there we go, Michigan is next up, but we'll do that next time. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. It's good to be back with this series, and yeah, I will see you for round 11 of the IndyCar series. So thanks for watching, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.